What I want to talk about is looking at the end of the year. Since we're coming up on the end of 2021, I wanted to talk a little bit about, how we can end the year stronger. How we can end the year stronger with our O.I., with osteogenesis imperfecta. I know, with O.I. there comes a lot of physical trauma. We break bones, we're going through sprains, and it's actual, physical ailments that come upon us throughout the year. And with everything that's been going on crazy in the world right now, it's been a big concern making sure we don't, get sick, right? And so whatever's been happening for you this year, I really want you to start to think about what you can do for the end of the year, because these next couple weeks, it really is about recharging, re-energizing yourself, thinking about, kind of looking back on this year and then start to look forward to next year. And so as you're going into the end of this year, take this week going into Christmas, take next week for sure before the new year, and spend some time just reminiscing, thinking about this past year and what has gone on. You can even write it down. Maybe just jot some notes down. I'm going to do this for sure. Jot some notes down and say, how has my life been as it pertains to having O.I.? Did I break something? Did I have an injury that was related to my O.I.? And if that was the case, write it down and then start to think about, what can I do next year? What can I do in 2022 that can maybe prevent that injury, that can be a way to make myself stronger for the year. Just having a grasp on, how it happened, why it happened, can I do things that can prevent this sort of thing going into the new year, going into 2022? Because, if we did have an injury this year, you don't want to have one next year, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, is preventing fractures, preventing the breaks. And so when we take time, when we sit and just kind of analyze life and think about life, give ourselves that break, pun intended, give ourselves that break to think about the breaks we may have had, then we can really start to find new ways in life to offset that, to really prevent those injuries going forward. But it takes that little introspection. So I really want you to do that this year and think of ways that you can, really do something different next year. And here's another thing, a lot of people might have ignored their O.I. this year. Have you ignored your O.I.? Have you just been living life? You've been trying to not get sick, right? But you just totally didn't really think about your O.I. Maybe going in 2022, you do think about your O.I. a little bit. You kind of, put it in the foreground. I know a lot of people that have O.I. I used to do this when I was younger a lot too. I really didn't think about it. I kind of denied it. And that was good and bad. It was good in certain aspects for the time, but it was bad in a lot of aspects because I didn't have the wisdom to really put it forefront. And, I suffered from it because I didn't put it forefront. So have you been ignoring your O.I.? Can you start to think about it a little bit more this year? Because that would be really cool, right? If you could, because then you can just start to, again, think of ways maybe to prevent injury, think of ways to make yourself stronger, right? Another part of this too is maybe you're great. Maybe you've got, everything is cool. Maybe you're thriving with O.I. I live my life thriving with O.I. And even though I do have certain setbacks, certain things may happen throughout the year, throughout time, for the most part, I'm pretty good. And so what I'm doing now is I'm thinking of ways to help the community. This show is one of them, right? My Unbreakable Body platform, which I'm going to talk about, is part of that. Being part of events for Care for Bones, seeing where I can work with the OIF, see where I can work with any of the organizations, my fellow O.I.ers. A lot of people reach out to me via Facebook, via my website, which, by the way, via the website's the best. Come to my website, TonyJacobsen.com. Contact me through there. That's the best way to do it, through email. So, I try my best and I do my best to help as many people as possible because I'm doing okay, right? So is that you? Do you have O.I. and everything's cool? Maybe next year in 2022, you step it up, start doing something for the community, because we can always take more help from people that are thriving with OI within the community to, be the example, show the example, help other people along the way if they're struggling in their journey. So maybe they're more challenged, and so we want to help them in that way. So, those are kind of 3 things to think about. If you had injuries, how can you start to prevent them? If you've been ignoring your OI, how can you start to really put it forefront to start to have some awareness around it? And then if you're doing cool, how can you help out the community? Those are 3 things to start thinking about to be stronger at the end of the year as we go into next year. So I hope that was helpful. And let me know in the comments, where are you at right now? Are you in one of those 3 categories? Because I want to know. If you're watching live, comment. If you're watching on the replay, definitely comment. I'm going to check out all the comments. But let me know, where do you fall in that? And what do you plan to do for 2022? Where do you want to step up? Where do you want to maybe step up for the community? Where do you want to maybe start to take your OI into consideration? Where do you want to maybe just think about, the injuries that you've had this year and how you can make yourself stronger so you don't have those injuries next year, or, recover faster. So there's a lot of things and a lot of ways to start thinking about the OI at the end of the year and going into 2022. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, it's time to boom, bap, tibbity tap that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the little bell icon. You'll get notified and all that good stuff. If you want some more OI related videos, check it out. They're right over there for your enjoyment. Until next time, get out there, keep breaking barriers, not bones. Peace.